here we were surfing. It was kind of a flat summer, so it was a little sucky, and you know, like every surfer ever in history, you go out on your skateboard when it's flat. Around that time, I was designing furniture, but I wasn't really very happy with that. I was quite bored and looking for something new to do. It was a fun summer, no waves. I had time on my hands, and so I thought maybe I'd apply some design skills to this skateboard.
He being a designer and me being an artist, we had a fearlessness about making things. Initially, it was just about having a tool that felt good. Once it did feel good, it performed well, and all of our friends had taken to it. It was very clear it was mass of its own and grew into Carver.
The first prototype we made was upside down. You know, I remember Greg taking a couple of sheets of metal and kind of put them on a board, and we were kind of moving things around, and it was really just like not a working prototype. We envisioned that the angle should be this way, and it turns out the angle should have been that way. So when we built it, it was like, you know, impossible to ride. You know, you learn that once, you move on, you make the next thing, just keep making them. I probably made 25 different trucks over several years, get them all to work. Made tons of little prototypes of just the spring system. Greg and I had been riding some prototypes already. I think we had had several months of playing around with these single-axis trucks. It was just a swiveling arm with a fixed axle on it. And boy, we were like getting all the movement and all the feel in the pump, and it was super fun. It just didn't feel very fluid. It felt very mechanical. My welding skills were getting a little bit better at that point. And I was like, you know, I'm gonna try and really marry the dual-axis truck thing. We really just, you know, you could feel you just needed a little more freedom in there. I took about 3 or 4 weeks, and I just focused on building this one prototype. And if we were gonna test something, you wanna drop in on the biggest wave. Well, Marine Street was the steepest hill in the neighborhood. You know, it was like, if we can do Marine Street, then, you know, we're not fucking around. It became the high point, the thing that was the measure of whether we were any good or not. We'd ride the smaller hills on things that weren't quite worked out yet, because we were breaking stuff a lot. You didn't want to eat shit on Marine, because that really hurt. But once we had some stuff dialed in and, you know, we could really push it, that was the testing ground. And it felt amazing. It was just so amazing. I think about the images of Jen in all the old footage that I rewatch. And there she is. She's always there. It was so important to have a woman who believed in that dream, the dream of building Carver, because it was a crazy dream, and it didn't seem very likely to succeed. And I myself had many doubts along the way. And perhaps if my partner was less supportive, in a moment of weakness, I might have given up. Years ago, I bought a tandem bike for her birthday. And what people say about the tandem bike is that it'll either bring you closer together or it'll break you up. And I think Carver's kind of like that with Jen and I. You know, it's like a tandem bike. We have to pedal together or we're gonna fight. We're both very strong personalities. We both have very strong opinions about things. And so through the process of working on Carver and building it, we've been pedaling together. And rather than it being something that tears us apart, it's actually been something that's brought us together, like that bike.
And I told you to be patient, and I told you to be fine, and I told you to be balanced, and I told you to be kind, and now all your love is wasted, and then who the hell was I? And I'm breaking at the bridges, and at the end of all your lives.
I try not to separate my work from my life. I try to integrate the two of them. And my objective is to increase the quality of my life and the people around me. What it does is it allows a skateboard to move like a surfboard, like it was actually initially designed to do. But now things have changed, and I think it does it better. It's a Carver. And here's how it works.
I think one of the most challenging things for us in the early days was people didn't really want anything different. They just wanted the thing that they already knew. We were trying to get people to try something, and right off the bat, their reaction was, oh yeah, no thanks. That was true with skaters we met, that was true with shops, that was true with distributors. We approached different brands. It was kind of universal. We were really kind of bummed about it and a little confused because we thought that, this thing was really cool. And when we would finally get people to give it a chance, they would be like, wow, this is really cool. But there was this hump that most people couldn't get over. It was that hump that I think held us back for years. I think what we did to overcome some of those difficulties was stay in the game long enough for the culture to come around to meet us. Gave us a chance to improve our game.
We didn't necessarily know how to market it or how to negotiate contracts with other core companies. So there was a lot to learn. We had to put on some new hats.
One thing that we did recognize after a bunch of years of trying to gain some kind of acceptance or credibility with the skating market, we said, maybe we're not a skateboard company, maybe we're a surf company. And we just 180'd, and all of a sudden it was all about surfers, surf shops. We didn't even call on skate shops anymore. All of a sudden, success started to come. The feedback that we were getting from the group of people that did respond, the Japanese, man, those guys, when they got a hold of the board, it exploded there. 6 or 7 different Japanese distributors all were just hounding us. Every single one of them were just like, yeah, we want to distribute your stuff. They didn't have the same preconceptions of what skateboarding meant. All they knew is when they got on the board, it felt like a surfboard. And Japan has a lot of surfers. So all of a sudden, Carver started to do well in Japan. We started working with Taylor Knox, who is a legend as a surfer, the master of carving, just power turns all day long. He was the perfect guy to really love our boards. Again, that relationship came out of Taylor having a board, got it from a friend, just reached out. Most of the people that we've worked with have actually approached us because they came across the board. Our team rider, Courtney Conlog, she had broken her ankle during a surf contest. She was using her Carver to build up her muscles and slowly rehab her ankle so that she could build up her strength back for surfing. Yagodora now. Through mutual friends, he got aboard, and now we're lucky enough to be sponsoring such an amazing athlete. Carver community is a worldwide community. We're getting emails and videos and photos from every corner of the globe, every country in Europe, Russia, the Ukraine. It's been amazing to be able to work with the USA Surf Team, which is basically a collection of the most talented young surfers in the country. To see all these kids just like totally connect with it. I definitely see taking the wave bank and blowing it up and making it bigger. And right now we have the small wave, and we're gonna need to build pipeline. I think seeing people actually take on the elements that we've been putting out there is such a reward. And so when people really take on what you're doing and resonate with it, it's bigger than you. It's become culture. More than ever, I see new possibilities. I see new ways to expand. That's what motivates me, because I want to go in there and I want to deliver on the imagination of what are the new things that can be done. The Carver Wave Bank, the excitement of building some new events, bringing in more people, bringing in more brands and companies.
A dog remembers some sweet summer day on the trail again.
We've published plans of the Carver Wave Bank, and we have it on our Instagram. We want everybody to build it. A lot of these companies are, directly using our technology, and we're working with them to improve the angles and curvatures so that it's, even faster and better. Good news of that is that the community is growing, and the stoke is spreading.
That I would love Carver to continue to evolve to be the best skateboard available.
Come and find me in the dark. If the stars come rolling and the sky starts folding, could you tell me who you are? It's a dream now, baby, what a scene now, baby. Oh, I don't know where to start.
What we've really done with Carver, it's like if you close your eyes and you don't really worry about what the board is beneath your feet, and you just focus on the movement and the activity that you're performing, that's the gift we've given. That's the thing we've created, is movement.